Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Strategy in Session. We want to simplify business strategy, giving you tools to start your business journey with confidence. I'm your host Amir.
And your co host, Cleopatra. In episode 5 of Strategy in Session, we take a deep dive into the world of branding, one of the most crucial components of a successful business. A strong brand doesn't just make your business look good, it helps you connect emotionally with your target audience, differentiate you from competitors, and leaves a lasting impression. We'll guide you through the key elements of branding, from
Mhm.
developing your brand's voice to creating a visual identity that resonates with your customers. By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools to craft a memorable brand that sets your business apart in a crowded marketplace. We'll be looking at what is branding in the first place, how to develop your brand's voice and personality, how to craft a visual identity, what consistency is, and how to use storytelling as a branding tool to help you stand out in a crowded market.
Let's start with the first topic we want to cover in this session. We want to talk about what is branding at the first stage. The branding itself is a way that you communicate your business identity, values, and also the purpose to the world and your customers.
Mhm.
You want to show them the first motivation and first purpose of your company. What are you exactly doing, and what are you want to focus on the market? It's just more than a logo and a name. It's the perception that you want to interact with in your customers.
Mhm.
And also, we want to talk about brand promise. Each company has implicit and also explicit promise,
Mm.
which you can change them by the market and the area you're working for.
Mhm.
For example, you want to focus on quality. Sometimes you want to focus on your service or products, or you just want to be innovative in the market. Based on the features, you can just change their promises, but you need to make sure you have the both explicit and implicit promises, and you need to interact them with your customers, and you want to make sure they know what are the motivation for you to just take them. Now let's go to the second one.
And then we look at developing your brand's voice and personality. You need to look at your brand as a human being. Yeah? Every single person that you encounter on earth has a different voice and a different personality. So, how do you develop your voice? Your brand's voice reflects how you communicate with your audience. Is it professional, conversational, quirky, or authoritative? Your tone should align with your target market's expectations. For Elevon, would say that we're very goofy. We're a very sarcastic brand. We focus on community and we know community is laid back. So we try to communicate in a laid back way, in an acceptable way. What does your brand represent? What do you represent in your brand? Do you want to be Vusi, who is a very authoritative presence? Therefore, his brand communicates in that way. Or do you want to be Virgin, that is very fun and playful, and they communicate in that way? Or
Yeah,
Specsavers. I
exactly.
love the Specsavers ads because as soon as I see a Specsaver ad, I know exactly where it's coming from. They communicate in a very quirky way. So think about that when you're building your brand. How do you want your brand to resonate in the minds of people and communicate in that way? Then you want to look at the personality as well. Think of your brand as a person, as I said. How would it behave and interact with other people? Would it be the joker of the class or would it be the loner in the class? You want to create a consistent personality that helps build stronger customer connection and trust.
Mhm.
When you nail your brand personality, you attract a target audience that can connect with that personality that you've built for your brand. That way, your marketing is focused and targeted and reaches the right people. Now, I want you to do an exercise actually.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's do a quick exercise where we guide you through a fun way to imagine your brand as a person. Yeah. So what is your ideal person, Amir, if I may ask you? Like if you wanted to be friends with someone,
Yes.
what would be the characteristics of that person?
But characteristics, I'll always look for a person. For example, I want him or him to be intellectual.
Mm,
I want her to be confident,
mhm,
and I want to also be honest with me. You know, there are all different characteristics I want to look for in person, and I know that it's changed person by person, and anyone choose different characteristics and
mhm.
personalities.
Right. So I put it to you, the audience. If you wanted to be friends with somebody,
Hmm.
what are the things that you look out for in that person? Yeah. So imagine that you're in the mind of your target audience. What are the things that they would expect for someone that they trust and they want to be in their circle to have? Personally, I love people who are hardworking, people who will do the things they say they will do.
Hmm.
So if I'm buying from a company, you need to be that. You need to tell me that I'll get 10% off and I get exactly 10% off. So think about it that way in creating your brand personality. That way you are able to then picture your brand as a person. I hope it helps. Leave in the comments how you did with that exercise. You can pull up a mannequin if it helps you. I would do that.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Perfect. Now let's talk about creating a visual identity. To be honest, the first thing that your customers and your clients always impressed with is your logo and the picture you using to promote and sharing the company with your clients and customers. So you need to always make sure you choose a good logo and picture for your company. For example, whenever you see an old man with the glasses having a burger, you're gonna just remember of KFC. Or for example, a woman with the long hair is going to be Starbucks. So your logo needs to be just a symbol of the things you're doing in your companies,
Mm,
and it should be really relevant to your company. Also, it should be simple to memorize, it should be memorable, and also you need to use the color palettes, which is really important. The color palette means that you need to choose a colors related to your company. For example, blue colors mostly just remind us of a trustful and calm environment.
mm,
So, but the red color is also more like a passion, like an aggressive thing. So you need to choose the color based on the industry and the things that your company is doing at the
mm,
moment. And also the typography is a third thing which is important when you want to make your logo. The fonts that you're using should be really relevant to your company.
mhm.
It should be simple, it should be readable, and always the customers need to know the name with picture and a logo. That's help them to memorize it better
Mhm.
and have a better picture of your company in their mind.
Well, once you've nailed all of that, you want to make sure that you're being consistent. I'm sure you've heard the phrase consistency is key. Now, consistency should happen in your brand across your website, your social media, your packaging, everything relating to your business. That helps to build trust and recognition. When you see the Amazon logo, you know exactly what it is. When you see a brown box with what's
With a
it?
blue, like
You
half
know that it's
moon.
Amazon.
Yeah,
You don't even need to see it written Amazon because they've built that consistency
yeah.
over time. I mean, what's a really good one that we can use? McDonald's, for example.
McDonald's,
You
yeah.
see an M and automatically, or even the yellow for
Yellow,
McDonald's, you
yeah.
know exactly what company, what business that is. That is because they've invested so much in building consistency over time. You see the colors everywhere. You see teal. Hopefully, in a few years, teal will represent
Yeah,
Elevon.
exactly.
Yeah, so you need to maintain that consistency. Now, we can help you explore how to create brand guidelines that ensure that every interaction within your business reflects your brand, the tone, the
Hmm.
visuals, and even your brand message. Yeah. But you need to stay on and listen to the activity that we have coming up.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the storytelling as a branding tool. Storytelling is a really important feature because you want to make sure that your customers are not just someone who buy the product from you or buy the service from you. You know, make sure they're a part of your company because we're all together, all stakeholders. We're all together handling and managing this company. So storytelling is important part, and you need to bring them into the overview on in the mission and vision part of your landing page. In the overview part and also in the storytelling, you want to share the experience you have had during the journey of making and building this company. You want to show what was the motivation, what was the passion at the first stage that bring you to make this company, what people have you worked with, what things you have experienced through this journey. You want to make sure that you and your customers are in the same boat within this journey.
Yeah. Now, we said we wanted to show you how to stand out in a crowded market, and I hope the conversation so far has done that, because your brand, your message, your tone, your personality, all of that contributes to helping you stand out in a crowded market. But beyond that, we look at things like differentiation, right? So differentiating your brand in a way that makes it unique is a way to differentiate yourself. So companies do things like, pop-ups, they do things like giving specific, brand elements. Like I had the shopping, the £1 coin that you used to get the trolley.
Exactly.
I went to a conference the other day and the business gave it to me. And now it's part of my key ring, because every time I go shopping, you always forget to bring a £1 coin. Right. So every time I go shopping, I remember this business, because they've done something to differentiate themselves and make themselves unique from other competitors. But it does go beyond branding. It goes into what value does your business offer. If I think about Specsavers, I'm thinking about, an easy way to get my glasses sorted, an easy way to get my hearing checked. They've given value in the sense of providing convenience. So your business needs to be looking at beyond branding. What can you do to make sure that you're making the lives of customers easier? When Uber came out, people said, well, we've got taxis, why do we need Uber? But Uber sold the convenience of being in your house, of being in any location and having a car come pick you up. That is
so, yeah.
yeah. Or even the food businesses like the Just Eat and those guys. You don't need to leave the comfort of your home, but you can have access to restaurants across the UK. That's what they're selling, convenience. So you need to be looking at that as well. And then another thing that you can do to stand out in the marketplace is niche branding. Yeah. So I definitely want to do a separate episode on this, because it's a very loaded topic. But niche branding basically focuses on using psychology to brand. If you want to elicit a certain response from customers, you use certain branding to communicate that. If you want customers, whenever they see your brand, to think about, say, for example, cleaning products.
Yes, cleaning products, yeah.
Say that dish soap specifically, there's only specific colors that they use for dish soap.
Yeah, that's
That
correct.
is the lemony green.
Lemony green.
There's the green, and then I think I've seen orange as well.
We have yellow one as well.
That's the one I was saying.
There are
Yeah,
specific
lemony green.
colors
Yeah.
for dishwasher, yeah.
Because those colors, it does something in your brain. It tells you that this is clean. Water, for example, when you think about water packaging, you hardly see water packaging that isn't clear. Water packaging is always clear, because you want people to see that, oh, it's water. I can see the water in it. Whereas if you use, the bottle for like a malt bottle or a Coca-Cola bottle, for example, it will not elicit the same kind of response. But we will talk about this in a separate episode. But as you think about branding, think about things that are peculiar to your industry, peculiar to the product that you're creating, and act accordingly.
Perfect. Now we have some action steps for you. First is define your brand's personality. We want you to describe three or four of the personality types that you want. We got some action steps for you that you can do it for us now. You can write down three words that describe your brand as if it were a person. For example, are you energetic? Are you a professional or reliable? Are you an honest person? That's gonna help you to just shape your brand's voice and tone, because you know the person characteristics could be used as a brand and company's personality as well. We want to make sure that you can summarize your companies by using just words and gonna help you to promote your companies to your customers.
Now, put on your detective hat. I don't really mean that, but it brings me back to those crime
Mm-hmm.
shows where you see detectives in front of a whiteboard putting all of those, post-it notes and all that, trying to figure it out. That's what we want you to do next. Now, I want you to gather images, colors, logos, and other visual elements that you feel represents your brand. Have you done that? Then use that to guide the design of your visual identity. Are there companies that you resonate well with their brand? You like their colors, you like their logo, you like their icons,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. Take all of those inspiration and put together a mood board to help you start thinking about how you want your brand to be represented.
And after that, try to write the brand story of your brand. You need to tell the customers and the clients why did you start this journey at the first stage.
Mhm.
That's gonna help you to have the more customers and clients because they need to find the trust to you. And you know this story can help you and your customers to be in the same page. That's gonna help them to know what was the eagerness, what was the passion at the first station that you to build this company. And you know storytelling is always a helpful
Mhm.
way to make sure that your customers are engaged with your company. Don't just let them be customers, the people who buy the products from you. Make sure they are parts of your companies.
If you already have an existing brand, now is the time to audit it. Review your website, your social media profiles, your packaging, and your
Hmm.
marketing materials to ensure that they reflect a consistent brand message and visual identity. I know throughout the journey, some of us are starting to do things by ourselves. So you can get derailed. You can create a separate Facebook that looks nothing like your Instagram or your website. Now is the time to take a step back and build that consistency across all your public profiles to ensure that you start to get your brand cemented in the minds of your customers.
Perfect. Now we got some assignments for you. We want you to engage with our uh, episode. We want you to share your brand story with us using the hashtag HEYSIS, HEYSIS. And for just one paragraph, two paragraphs, it's up to you. Just share the story that you have by founding your business or company. And also, we will feature some of the best stories in the upcoming episode.
Absolutely. And don't forget to download our Branding Basics workbook. This is a workbook that has been created for you to help you define your brand's voice, personality, and visual identity. So there will be prompts in that workbook that will guide you through the whole process and exercises as well
Mhm.
that you can use to get you to the final stage of deciding what your brand is.
Exactly. And in the next episode, we want to take you through building a digital presence and how to create a website that works for you. We're going to help you to know how which platforms or application you can use to launch your website. And also, if you want to talk about the search engine optimization, also the engines you can use to promote your products or service to the companies and to the people and the customers. So we will see you in the next episode. And thank you for listening to us.